Hi, and welcome to episode 19 of the Wibbly Wobbly Geeky Weekly podcast. I'm Joe.
And I'm Dave, and I was just as excited as you to find out Karen Gillian shaved. Until I found out it was her head.
I don't like her bald. Who the hell am I kidding? I'll take her either way. Uh, we're actually joined by somebody tonight. Say hello, Carlos.
Hello, Carlos.
It's our friend Carlos. We've been threatening a little bit to have other people on once in a while, and he's the first. And sadly, he does not have a way to do video at the moment, so he's just going to be basically the disembodied voice of the show.
Sadly
Yes.
or fortunately?
He is our Hal.
Oh, Lord. Don't open any airlocks, please.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
No monkeys and obelisks.
Monkey.
Ba-ba.
Yeah, you're going to be getting a lot of in-jokes from the three of us that nobody else is going to get.
So, what you been up to?
Not much here. Just hanging out. There wasn't anything interesting going on this weekend, so I basically just sat around and watched a little TV. Caught up on a little Smallville because they've been running that on TNT, and I've been rewatching that. And
Yeah?
had some gas.
That's
about it.
That's good.
How
I've been
about you,
actually
Carlos?
Go,
Hmm?
Carlos. He's
Hi.
talking to you.
Working, same as every day.
That
You know
bad, huh?
you can swear on this show.
Yes,
Oh. Good to know.
yes, it's a YouTube show. You're allowed to use whatever language you like.
No,
man.
All we ask is that you don't use the phrase cock juggling thunder cunt.
Okay.
Or nerf herders.
Why?
That's
Because
our
it's
word.
an arbitrary rule we just came up with.
Me, I've been actually rewatching Eureka.
Yeah, well, especially considering we just met Neil Grayston last week.
Yeah. I just wanted to watch, Joe.
Yes.
It's pretty.
Anyway,
Oh, here we go. Congratulations to the royal family on the new heir that will never ever see the throne.
okay. Now we've talked about it. That's enough of that.
I know, thank God. Now nobody
Let's
can
put it
bug
this
us
way:
about that.
they had a kid. Yay! That's wonderful. I'm happy for them.
I heard
And
it
there
has
was
Charles
rejoicing.
ears.
What was that, Carlos?
And there was much rejoicing.
Yes.
Yay.
I will say one thing about this. Please don't talk about it for the next 3 bloody frigging months like you did with the goddamn wedding.
Well, at least it wasn't the worst thing to come out of a tunnel in London.
Oh.
Oh, oh,
That's not right.
I would smack you for that if I could reach you.
Ah,
Then again, there was the whole thing with Diana, too.
Uh,
I believe that was the general idea I was
Yes.
trying to convey.
We know that.
Lord, I apologize.
So, Carlos.
yes.
I don't think I got a chance to ask you. Have you seen Man of Steel yet?
Yes.
What did you think?
That was good. I liked it.
He didn't see our rant on it, did he?
Yes, I shared it, but
Ah.
they couldn't hear you. That was before you'd fixed the mic.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. What else have you seen so far this summer? We'll go over this real quick.
Went and saw Red 2 the other day.
Oh, yeah, Dave was mentioning that off air. How was it?
That was funny.
I loved it.
Is it as good as the first one?
Just picture John Malkovich at the end of the movie in a dress.
Again?
Yes.
Dressed like Carmen Miranda.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Is he asking for pancakes?
No.
God damn it.
Actually, not a mention of the word pancakes was uttered.
Aw. Actually kind of disappointed by that. Have either of you managed to see Pacific Rim yet?
No.
I was gonna go today, but realized I got out of work too baked.
Well, when you go, grab Baldy here and take him with you.
He already paid for my movie the other day. And I'm not going to have any money for a little while because I got to, we got to take that trip out to North Dakota.
Yeah. Oh, we got to work that out too, because I got to figure out when exactly that is. But yeah, no. I'll let you know when you go, Carlos. You don't have to sit all the way through the credits, but make sure you sit through part of them.
I've heard the same thing from everyone else.
And when Dave finally gets around to seeing the movie, he'll understand why everybody was shouting things about where's my goddamn shoe when we were watching Sharknado.
I still gotta watch that too.
What?
I still gotta watch that too.
I still can't believe they're doing a sequel in New York this time.
That was an NPR question on Wait, Don't Tell Me. I just found out. This which was sold at the smaller version of cons. Was it Sharknado? I forgot the name of the other movie, but the other movie that they came up with is a movie I want to see. It's about an asteroid with a jetpack that is aimed directly at a preschool.
What?
I shit you not.
What?
It's a fake
Why does
movie.
he need a jetpack?
It's a fake movie, but oh my god, I want to see it.
Why does he need a jetpack?
I don't know.
There's still another movie I got to see it's ridiculous. You remember Rubber?
Yes.
Now, there's another movie here on Netflix that I have to watch called Hybrid about a sentient cop car that runs around killing people.
When did Christine get a badge?
Actually, it's Jack's car from Eureka just coming back for revenge at this
Oh
point.
Jesus, it's the Jeep.
I had
All right.
so many good lives.
I suppose we might want to start jumping into the news. What do you think? Because we got the
Oh, was it a big news week? I heard it was a big news week.
we had this. You know, we had another con on the other side of the country. It's not as big as the con that was over here. You know, we had Connecticut a couple weeks ago, but there was this Comic-Con thing.
Ah, yes.
And not that anybody really gives a damn, but you know,
It was pretty big.
that's what she said.
Let's not go there anymore, please. I'm tired. All right.
Did you try to say I'm tired? Just kind of, I'm tired. Did you have a stroke?
San Diego Comic-Con 2013 rolled around, and we had quite a few big announcements, especially from the people at Warner Brothers and DC Comics. So I don't know. Let's see what we could start with. A couple. We're going to start with Marvel since they're already on the map. We'll save DC for last, I think.
Well, they're already in last place, so why not?
Yeah, why not?
There's only 2 spaces to be in.
Well, I'm just
I
talking
mean,
about story-wise.
You had Image with Spawn, and it still did better than Green Lantern.
The movie or the
Yeah,
comic?
the movie.
Image shitting in a bucket is better than Green Lantern.
Actually, I didn't think Green Lantern was that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't as good as it should have been.
It was written poorly. That's what it was.
It needed more.
Yeah, oddly
catalog.
enough, the writer for the Green Lantern movie is the same writer that does the comic.
That would explain why I stopped reading it.
Yeah,
Huh.
but here's the thing. He's done a great job on the comic.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, me, I'm busy reading Earth 2 right now, so.
In fact, he's in charge of the entire DC comic universe.
Oh, okay.
Think.
All
Anyway,
right.
I apologize, Dave.
All right. I'm
Tangent.
just going to go right into our first story with, we're going into Marvel. Marvel had several announcements. The biggest being
They're
that
making a movie.
they announced the title of the Avengers 2, which is going to be The Age of Ultron. Now, My only problem with this is they also said that Hank Pym will not be in the movie.
Well, here's my problem. Um, Age of Ultron. Didn't they set up a particular purple villain?
That's going to be Avengers 3.
So you're gonna set him up now and make us wait
Yes.
8 years?
Yes.
Has Marvel really failed yet as far as movies besides Thor?
Wait, what?
Have you seen Iron Man 3?
You know what? I didn't have too much of a problem with it. I could buy the fact, you know, that he was a figurehead. Mandarin was a figurehead there.
Or he was a head, but it wasn't a figure.
It's plausible.
Yes, guys running around shooting fire out of their mouths is very plausible. At least the robotic thing with the armor and everything, a little bit.
They also at their panel they introduced they showed footage of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Care.
You know,
One thing.
not footage, but tests, kind of like test footage type stuff.
You mean storyboards?
Yeah. Well, they did that last year with Ant-Man. So,
One thing I liked was I did catch a clip of the panel where Tom Hardy who plays Loki, not Tom Hardy. I'm
Hiddleston.
sorry. Thank you.
Hardy?
Huh?
Hardy?
Yeah, sorry. What is it again? Tom
Hiddleston.
Hiddleston. How I came up with Hardy, I have no clue. But he came out dressed up as Loki during the Marvel panel, and just everybody loses their shit and they're screaming Loki, Loki, and he just puts his finger to his mouth and shh, and then looks over at Chris Hardwick. It's just, be quiet, you cow, you mewling, whatever. And he just kind of ducks behind the the podium. And he does this whole spiel and everything, and then he just screams, "Say my name!" And every woman in the place started screaming Loki.
that would have been really funny if Mark Ruffalo came up behind him and just stood there.
That would have been
Puny.
awesome.
Puny God.
Puny God. Now, have you seen any video clips from that, Carlos?
No, I have not.
I've been watching them on and off at my house. IGN on Xbox Live was running live coverage for most of this stuff.
Yeah, and sadly, I just wasn't able to be down here enough to really be able to watch it, which really sucks.
Let's see. Guardians of the Galaxy, they mentioned. Glenn Close, they revealed her character, she will be playing Nova Prime. And I forgot who Karen Gillian's character is, but she shaved her head for the part.
Moondragon.
Moondragon?
Moondragon.
Yeah, I was so sad when I saw her shaved her head. I cried.
It's
Hair
like I may
grows
have done
back.
something a little drastic. And then
The
pulls her
character's
wig
bald,
off.
So
Huh?
the character is bald.
Yeah.
I think she was trying to do her, shit. Now I forgot her name from V for Vendetta.
Natalie Portman.
Natalie Portman. Yeah.
Maybe she was trying to match the bottom half?
Ooh.
What?
Hardwood floors.
Maybe. Paula's not allowed to listen to this episode this week.
She's gonna listen to it anyway.
Actually, she doesn't listen to it all that often. Kind of like everybody else.
I'd be surprised if she listened to it at all.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well.
fine.
Huh.
Please speak.
Woof woof.
Sit, boo boo.
I like not a big story, but just how a couple of the celebrities were walking the floor this year.
Matt Smith.
Oh, even better. Uh, yeah, his name just shot out of my head. Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad
Oh
was
yeah.
not recognized as he quite literally walked around as himself. What he did is he found a full head mask of him as his character from Breaking Bad, and he wore that and walked around that. And then when he got to the panel, he pulled it off. He's got his full hair. He's completely shaved. The mask is pretty lifelike, but the thing is, it's a little bit bigger, so you could tell it was a mask. He kind of looked like a bobblehead. If you look up the picture of this, it's just awesome. And then, like you said, you had Matt Smith walking around as Bart Simpson.
Yep.
I did see that video. That was pretty damn funny too.
Yeah, see, he doesn't have a Twitter account, but he hijacked Nathan Fillion's, for a picture at the con.
Oh, did he really?
So both of them just, posting a picture off of his Twitter.
Yeah. And I guess one of the big pieces of news would be.
Don't forget, we're not done with Marvel.
Oh yeah, well I didn't really look at the Marvel stuff. We kind of know what's coming down the pipeline right now. So
Well,
if you want to finish with Marvel, I just got the one big one from DC.
they had that nice interview with on the panel where Mark Webb was, or not Mark Webb. I'm sorry.
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield did the entire panel in costume.
Yes, he did. And I
Has he
like
even
that
taken
little.
that thing off?
I have no idea.
Every time I hear about him, he's in the freaking Spider-Man costume.
I think he sleeps in it.
Well, it is kind of a onesie with
So-
speedy pajamas.
So he probably smells like a rhino ass at this point.
Burnt
Well, no,
feet
that's
wrapped in
because-
bacon.
That's because he was in Rhino's
Oh
ass.
my god, it's covered in pubic hair everywhere.
And actually, we got more than one big story for DC.
That's the only one I've been able to come across. The one I've got is the one that everybody knows about now, and that's the
This,
basically it's the one that's gonna help save the Superman franchise because we're gonna mix a Dark Knight with your Man of Steel.
you got your Man of Steel and my Dark Knight.
And they've already said it's inspired by Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns.
As can be seen by the emblem that they had the new Superman shield inside the Frank Miller Batman symbol. So we're gonna get crotchety old retired Bruce after 8 years.
So it's basically it's going to be old man Bruce is able to beat up Superman, which, as much as I like that story, I've always called bullshit on that.
Carlos actually hasn't read it.
You've never read The Dark Knight Returns?
I have not read it. No.
Have you seen the movie?
No, I have not. I've been waiting for the 2-pack.
Which is coming out soon, actually.
How long are you planning on waiting? It's been out.
No, the 2-pack hasn't come out yet. It's coming out soon. The 2-disc.
Oh, I just got
They
the.
released part 1 and part 2 separately.
Oh, okay. I just got them on Blu-ray, so. Yes, Carlos. I finally upgraded and got a Blu-ray player.
Well, that makes one of us.
Well, actually, I didn't have to upgrade at all. My soon-to-be brother-in-law bought it for me for my birthday.
Okay.
So like, okay. First movie we went out and got was Serenity.
Of course it was.
Then I got a couple of Godzilla movies and the Gamera trilogy. Because nothing screams, I need Blu-ray like giant Japanese costumed monsters.
From 80 years ago.
No. It was only 10 years ago.
Anyway, DC also announced...
We're breaking Dave's brain. This is fun. We need to have you on more often.
DC also announced a possible Flash movie for 2015. Wrong Flash.
Hawkmen.
I know.
Dave.
But I agree with Kevin Smith. I was listening to Hollywood Babylon this morning, and it says instead of just, having all these characters in separate movies, introduce them little by little in like Superman sequels, and then do the Justice League movie.
They did the similar thing on the Batman cartoon, and I just, you know?
DC's got to figure something out because let's face it, Superman, or excuse me, Man of Steel, far from a flop.
But it still
But
sucked.
at the same time, it is not doing nearly as well as they thought it would because that ending pissed off a lot of people. I've kind of gotten over it somewhat. Kind of gotten to the point where it's like, oh well, every hero needs to make that one mistake that they'll never make again. What? Destroying Metropolis wasn't the big mistake. And I was actually reading a review where somebody tried to defend this entire thing, and he says, "Oh well, this city was evacuated."
No,
No,
Really?
no, they weren't.
When the hell did that city get evacuated?
They
Considering
called
that
the
they
evacuation like 2 seconds before everything started.
yeah, exactly. And so when the people were getting lifted up and slammed into the ground, all those people we saw getting lifted up and slammed into the ground, they weren't actually there. They were an imagination of your figment.
What? I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
what
The
that.
ground, when the Kryptonians started, terraforming the Earth, they made the ground rubber, so the people actually bounced.
There you go. There you go. when they started using the giant butt plug on the other end of the world, sucked everything in. I just anyway, we're not here to talk about Man of Steel. I'm sorry.
Warner Brothers also announced through DC that they released titles for their upcoming animated features for 2014. As we all know, Justice League Paradox is coming out soon.
Flashpoint. Yep.
Flashpoint Paradox. But we've also got coming out in 2014 Justice League Origin.
Yep.
We got Son of Batman, which is an adaptation of the Grant Morrison 2006 comic book arc, Batman and Son. Which
Really?
with
Sounds
three
like a mechanic.
Damian Wayne.
Why don't you just do Superman Doomsday again?
This time
They also
Yeah. See, I like Superman Doomsday, but you're right, they could have done better.
rooting for you,
Yeah.
buddy.
wrong movie.
No, Superman versus Brainiac is awesome.
Freeze,
Just for
freeze.
all the wrong reasons.
The other one is going to be Batman Assault on Arkham, which is take place in the world of the Arkham video game franchise.
Here's a thought. How about we go one whole year without a bloody Batman movie?
Because Batman makes money.
You know what? I like Batman, but he's kind of like Wolverine. Go the fuck away for a little while and come back.
He's supposed to be a ninja. Why can't he hide in the dark for a little while?
Yeah, exactly.
Now he's become a ninja.
I mean, Flo and the freaking Progressive commercials do a better job of hiding in the shadows than he does at this point.
He's now become a
Well.
duly deputized,
Oh,
man
God,
of
he's
the-
become Adam West.
Yes.
Well, they got Batman 66 comic out, so technically,
Aren't they
Well-
releasing the DVDs this year too, or something?
yes, and I will be buying them.
Of course we will.
Yes.
There'll be a nice companion piece to the Triple X.
Oh God.
No.
Yes,
I don't want to see Cesar Romero. That I don't want to see Riddler snowball himself. That was nasty.
You can't snowball yourself.
He did.
No, he really didn't. He'd have to shoot his own cum shot into his own mouth.
He shot into hers and she spit it back.
That's just called a snowball. That's not snowballing himself.
It's called swapping.
How did we get onto this conversation?
You brought up the Triple X,
I
Joe.
would never do such a thing.
Yes, you would.
That was Godzilla. What?
Can't blame everything on Godzilla.
Okay, you said
Oh, yeah.
Godzilla. Let's switch to
Yeah,
Godzilla.
let's go to legendary.
What did you think of the new design?
You know what? Surprisingly, and we still haven't seen a fully realized version yet. From what I'm seeing so far, I actually have some. I have some hope. I really do.
Some faith.
I don't know about faith, um, but I have hope that they're at least trying to make the creature look like he should. We still have to see what they're actually going to do with him. They have said that he's going to have the atomic breath that the real Godzilla has. It's still kind of sad that we're going to be seeing a CGI version, but in an American version, I don't think you'd be able to get away with the man in the suit.
Yeah.
You know?
Why not?
You know what? Personally, it's like if Toho kept the rights and kept making those movies, I'd still be plunking down my money for those movies every year when they'd come out. What about you, Carlos? What do you think of it?
Oh, yeah, I've never actually seen an entire Godzilla movie.
We must train him.
Let's train him in the way of Toho.
Well, I was showing him pictures from the con, when the Godzilla, and I showed that's the oxygen destroyer from the first movie. And he goes, the what and the where?
I'm gonna next time I'm in Wallingford, I'm gonna make sure I bring the original black and white Godzilla.
Gojira.
Yeah, bring my Arkham City with you.
Right, hold on to Arkham City for another couple of months. No, but seriously, I'll make sure I bring that. But I'm gonna bring the Godzilla, or actually, you've got both versions. You've got the American Godzilla, which is kind of chopped up,
And
or
got
you have
Raven
the
Burr.
original Gojira.
The original American version was introduced, Raymond Burr into it, so the Americans would watch it.
Kind of like Godzilla 1985. Which, now, Raymond Burr's character is named Steve Martin. Okay. And somehow, in 1985, they got it stuck in their head that somehow people were going to confuse Raymond Burr with Steve Martin. Because
You would need
evidently
like
there's
three
some...
Steve Martins,
Yeah. So...
at least.
So they never actually referred to him as Steve Martin. I think they called him maybe Steve once, but the rest of the time it was always Mr. Martin. It's like, there's no way I'm confusing Raymond Burr. There's no way I'm confusing Ironsides, excuse me, for a guy playing a banjo. It's not happening.
Would you
I
confuse
was
for King
born
Tut?
a poor black child.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, I'm like I said, I'm looking forward to. At the moment, I'm looking forward to the Godzilla thing, and there's one thing, and it pisses me off. Michael Bay is giving everybody false fucking hope.
What, the Turtles?
Yeah. Have you seen the Turtle Van?
Yeah. Wait, no, the van?
Oh yeah.
For the movie.
Yeah.
No.
It actually looks like the goddamn Turtle Van. So now he's deliberately just fucking with people. Like, see, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, they're gonna come in because they see this. And they're gonna think I know what's up. Michael Bay needs to be shot in the face.
Turtle robot.
Oop, we lost Carlos.
What?
Wah, 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 wah. I can't hear Carlos. Can you?
No, I think he might be talking to somebody else.
Let's see.
Are you there, Mrs. Carlos?
Shut up.
Hello?
Yes.
We can't hear you.
I think he went away. Well, we'll give him a minute.
I can hear him a little bit in the background, but
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
good.
What happened?
I don't know. Maybe I had my finger covering something.
Ah,
The way I'm holding the iPad.
Sure, that's what we'll go with.
Well, there was some other news this week that almost scared half the nerds on the planet to death. That J.J. Abrams was going to quit Star Wars.
That he was going to quit
Direct.
Star Wars?
It was a rumor. Thank God, it has been confirmed by Lucas or Arts or whatever that it was just a rumor. There won't be any quitting.
I was about to say, he's been wanting to do this for years. There's no way in hell he was going to quit that.
Yeah.
We got a. I know you're not big on it. I'm actually a very late comer to the show. It's been off the air for a few years now, but ever since the Kickstarter, I started looking at Veronica Mars a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And I got to admit, I'm actually kind of getting into it. It's actually a pretty fun show. They actually released their first trailer at Comic-Con. If anybody's out there curious or is a full-blown what they call marshmallow.
What?
I still have no idea why the fans are called marshmallows. But
Because the word marsh has the word Mars in it.
that's the only thing I can come up with. But I got to admit, it does actually have the feel of the TV series. So
I don't know. I just actually came across a story, not entirely geek news, but it's something that makes me happy. Damn fly.
damn flies make you happy?
Yes.
Oh.
Filmmaker Vincent Amorin is set to direct a movie called Crossface, a feature film adaptation of Matthew Randazzo's book Ring of Hell: The Story of Chris Benoit.
Oh, really?
And it's about fucking time.
Yes, it is.
I know what happened to him and his family was horrible, but it wasn't all his fault.
No.
I think it's finally time, high time they give him some sort of recognition. And, especially after Vince kind of dicked him over after he died, he canceled Raw, held a special for him that night. And the next day he says, nope, we're not talking about him no more. He didn't exist.
Yeah.
That's the only time I was like, fuck you, Vince. Show a little more class than that.
Yeah. Well, the next thing I want to talk about really quick is now I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead. Dave, I know you are for some reason not into it. Do you watch it,
Yeah.
Carlos? Oh yeah, you watch it.
Duh.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the trailer for season 4 yet?
No, I have not.
Oh yeah, there's like a 4.5 minute trailer from Comic-Con that got released on Friday.
Yeah, I heard Daryl Dixon is going to die this season.
Don't mind Dave, he's full of shit. Although, speaking of cast members, wow, I just forgot his name.
Which one?
The Chinese character.
Glenn?
Thank you. Wow, the whole story just left. Never mind. Let's go forward. Yeah, basically I just stroked out.
Okay, I got a couple of gaming, news for you.
Thank you. That's...
What?
No, I was going to say thank you. Get me away from that quagmire I was in.
This one you will like.
Giggity.
Oh, Jesus
God
Christ.
damn you.
This one you will like, Joe, because I believe you would buy an iPad probably just to play this game.
Who?
You, Joe.
I highly doubt it.
Firefly Online announced for iOS in 2014. A Firefly game.
Yeah, and
Okay, forget
I'm
it.
not
man.
spending $400 on an iPad to play one game.
Oh, neither would I.
You should be so lucky.
I
Hey, I only spent $400 for mine.
Now I'm looking at maybe 150 to 200 for a Nexus Galaxy. And if it's on there, then great. There's no way in hell I'm paying between 400 and 500 for an iPod or an iPad rather.
Uh,
Which I'd like an iPad, but no. Just I just spent all my money getting the new computer and the webcam and these and a couple of other things and this because I want to make sure I get you copies of some of the Trek stuff that you're gonna need.
oh, well, here's some news for Carlos then. I know he's been playing Borderlands 2. There's been announced that there will be an upgrade pack for the Ultimate Vault Hunters mode, which will be increasing the level cap to 72. There will be more DLC. The Headhunter pack, titled TK Baja's Bloody Harvest. They just keep building and building on that game. It's just this is going to be their fifth DLC, campaign DLC for that game, and they're just going to keep going. And it's a fun game.
Oh my God!
What?
So Borderlands is going to be the FPS version of Street Fighter.
Oh my God, it is. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Look how long Street Fighter went. They kept putting out.
I know, but they could never count to 3. It took them 15 years to count to 3.
Yes, but they kept putting out content that people wanted, so nobody minded. If Borderlands is able to do that, then you're good to go.
Well, I don't know. You never played it, have you, Joe? Really?
I haven't even played the first one yet.
If you got around here, you can play it. It's basically a first-person RPG shooter.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But I don't know. Right now, it's been so humid that I can't get my Xbox to play for more than 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, it's because of the humidity. It will actually shut down, and when I turn it back on, it will say, due to humidity, is shut down to protect itself.
Oh.
It's kind of like what's happened to my phone when I got water in it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, any luck with that?
No, I'm trying to find out if somebody has like an extra phone around. I might need to just replace the battery.
Okay.
Because that's swelled up a little bit.
The battery swelled? Okay.
Yes, as in it's expanding.
Yeah, no, I know what you meant. I just never seen a battery do that before.
I am running out of news.
Just one more trailer announcement. I may have mentioned it. I don't think I did. I talked about the new Hunger Games trailer.
Yes, or
Yeah.
you didn't talk. You talked about it. Yeah.
Talk about Aquaman being in it. That's
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, they at Comic-Con this year they did actually release the next the Hunger Games Catching Fire theatrical trailer. Anybody who's a fan of these films or a fan of the books, go just check this trailer out.
So far, it's filmed. There's only been one released.
It's going to be a series of films. Hence the reason if you're a fan of the series already.
I really didn't care for the movie myself.
I know Carlos saw it with us. Are you? Well, he saw it with me and Paula. Are you up to seeing the next one when it comes out?
Yeah, sure. Why the hell not?
Because you seemed like you enjoyed it.
It was okay.
Paula was like, I don't want to see it again. She genuinely couldn't handle the violence in the movie.
Really?
Come on.
It's because it was kids killing kids. That's why. And I'm trying to explain to her that this time it's not kids killing kids.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
In New York City.
Yeah. Well, hey, But I'm trying to explain to her that it's not children this time, and she's no. I give her credit. She gave it a shot when she really didn't want to in the first place, but she just, it wasn't doing it for her. So when it comes out, me and you are gonna have to go see it.
Oh, I came across some bad news as far as Arrow.
What, Arrow's getting canceled?
No,
Why would that be
but
bad?
now you remember how they had shit, her name just left. River Song. Or Allison Kingston. She was on there as Black Canary. Turns out she's not going to be the Black Canary, and neither is her daughter. They're bringing in somebody completely different to be the Black Canary.
Wow.
I think there was a third Black Canary that was no relation to the other two
All right.
for a while. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, there's also supposed to be a whole bunch of like guest stars that might pop up from time to time.
In Arrow.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, guests, comic book stars. Like, there's rumor right now of Dick Grayson showing up.
Doubtful.
Yeah, I'll believe that when Dick Grayson shows up in Smallville. And oh wait,
There's also
they were talking about that for like 8 seasons and it never
I
happened.
mean, Batman.
So. No, I mean Dick Grayson as well. Because remember they were going to give Dick Grayson his own spinoff.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think I vaguely remember that.
That never happened either. So.
Well, I'm out. I'm out of major stories right now.
Say that again.
I am out of major stories at the moment.
Yeah, same here. And you wanted to go over
I just wanted to have a little fun.
an
something
IGN list.
Yeah, I wanted to have a little fun. Something we could argue about. People love it when we argue, I think. If anybody even watches the show.
Hey, Carlos, do you watch the show?
What?
That's what I thought. God damn it.
You have a show?
Yes, you're being
Yes.
recorded right now.
Oh, snap.
So,
Oh, snap. What the hell?
so what we're going to talk about is we're going to be talking about wrestling
I went in who?
and why it sucks.
Oh, we all know it sucks. That's why we watch it.
Uh,
Actually, this is a top 25 list according to IGN. The top 25 animated series for adults. Now, I
which is
agree
just
with
wrong.
I agree with a couple of these or a few of them. I disagree on a lot of them.
Well, let's start with the honorable mention. Gravity
Yeah.
Falls. You know, a show for really young children on the Disney Channel. An honorable mention on the top 25 animated series for adults.
Maybe they ran out.
Excuse me while I just go slam my head into a wall.
Ugh.
There's,
But
there's nothing wrong with Gravity Falls. I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's cute. It's charming. It's not remotely intended for adults unless you are a raging pothead.
well, according to their list here, it says
Like
they
SpongeBob?
have
Yeah.
hidden Freemason symbolism in the show.
Yeah, but you have to be a Freemason to see it.
Yeah.
I truly doubt that they even have that in there. But
It might has an in-joke.
if you'd like to take number 25, Dave, we'll just we'll
All right.
and do you have it on your laptop? I mean your iPad, Carlos.
I don't know if I can do two things at once.
You can go on. You can as long as on audio, I think.
Yeah, give it a shot. If you can get to the top 25 animated series for adults, we'll each take one as we go down the list.
And where am I going? IGN?
IGN. Yeah.
All right, let's try this. Hold on.
Just type in top 25 animated series for adults.
Oh, okay. It's working, sort
and
of.
then Dave will take number 25. You'll take number 24. I'll take 23, and so on and so forth.
Number 25 on the list, The Critic. Well, Uh,
I,
John Lovitz.
I God, I'm sorry. God.
He's kind of been on my shit list lately for the way he's been treating a certain podcaster that that I listen to and you
Certain,
listen to,
certain fat man.
On Batman. But yeah, it was a show. Primetime. It was on Fox, right?
Yes, it was.
Originally.
Here, well, we've
They
got,
even had a crossover with The Simpsons.
yes, it did.
It was just a film critic, bald, and he looked so much like John Lovitz too. They made him look like him.
That was part of the joke. Excuse me. That was part of the joke.
I'm wearing a smoking jacket, and I don't even smoke.
But it was written by Simpsons writer Al Jean, and you know what? It was a great show. Now, I agree it belongs on the list. It does not belong on 25. Belongs at least in the top 10.
Mm.
What do you think about that? Personal feelings aside from what he did recently, going by the show, all those years ago.
I honestly don't remember too much of it.
I was going to say, because that would almost be like taking The Lethal Weapon and judging Mel Gibson in that movie back then compared to the thing he's become now.
Oh, an anti-Semite?
Yes. What do you think, Carlos?
Sorry, I'm still looking for the site.
Just IGN.com.
No, I mean I got all that. I'm just
There's a search.
paying attention because I was looking for it.
Well, the exact name is the top 25 animated series for adults.
And I know I got it. I'm there.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're next, by the way, for the number 24.
Do I have to?
Yes.
You have to.
Daria.
You're one of us.
Number 24, Daria. I've never watched the show,
Me neither. I'm not a lesbian.
so I have no comment on it.
I've seen it, and no, you don't have to be a lesbian, you dumbass. Actually, pretty much if you watch Daria, the way she looks at a lot of the crap going on around her is pretty much the way we look at a lot of the crap going on around us. Basically, it's like, what the hell is wrong with you people? There's actually a clip here of the Daria quotes. Later on, you should go and take a look at that. It's genuinely funny stuff. Again, I agree that it belongs on the list. I, again, personally would put it in the top 10. And you guys really don't have anything else to say on it, so
sorry.
No, hey, if you haven't seen it, you haven't seen it. Meanwhile, we'll move on to number 23, which is The Max. Yeah.
That is a really big overbite on that character.
Yeah. I'm just going to read what it says here.
Yeah, to the max.
Covering parts of Sam Keith's comic, The Max appeared on MTV as part of its Oddities show, which initially featured a series called The Head. It only scratched the surface of the comic series, not lasting long enough to delve into more of its complexities, but as a showcase for the characters of a trauma survivor, Julie Winters, her bizarre protector, the Max, and the soulful, sadistic Mr. Gone. It was incredible. If you say so. I watched it. It never made me want to read the books, and I just thought it was just kind of stupid. This is one that I don't think belongs on the list at all. What do you guys think?
I never saw it.
Never saw myself.
So, okay, we will move on to number 22. Dave. Wow, this is a great idea so far, Dave.
Hey, most of these we know. Adult Swim early shows. C-Lab 2021. Now, the show, for me, just reminded me of a underwater Johnny Quest. But,
Well, It was based off an actual series called
Yes, it was
2020.
footage from an
Sea
old
Lab 2020.
Hanna-Barbera series uh, to create an insane, let's see, continuation of the crew's adventures, ignoring decency in any form, episode to episode, continually. While the show gave us many memorable moments, including an entire blackout episode featuring one single established
Yes.
shot, the crazy anchor of the show was Captain Murphy, voiced by the loopy and paternal Harry Goz.
I love this show. I absolutely love this show. Eric Estrada in it was just him and Brett Butler as their characters were both batshit insane. Um, I mean, come on, any show that can have an exploding dolphin, that's all you need. Especially when she's running around with the dolphin at one point screaming, I need to have a baby. I need to have a baby.
There's one show on this that's not on this list that I wish was on this list.
And what's that?
Drinky Crow.
Oh, God. I completely forgot about that show. It doesn't belong on the list, but I did like the show. It didn't last long enough to be on the list.
I know, but still.
Well, considering some of the shows that are on the list that aren't aimed for adults, you can kind of switch the two.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of shows that are on the list that weren't even remotely aimed at adults,
I'll go. Fine. Number 21 is a personal favorite of mine, and it was because of the dialogue and the banter and all that in the show. Spectacular Spider-Man. Not the most recent animated series, but the one before it that was on, started out on the CW, moved to Disney XD. Now, the animation sucked. I'll give you that.
I wouldn't go as far as saying it sucked.
No,
oh,
yeah.
no, it was different.
But what it lacked in animation, it more than made up for in dialogue and story.
You know what? I finally did try to sit down and watch this show. I do not think this show is as smart as everybody wanted it to be. Not even remotely. It's not the piece of crap that I initially thought. But A, it's not nearly as good as everybody wants other people to believe it is. And B, it's not even remotely aimed at adults. So it doesn't belong on this list. Period. Why is it here?
I'm an adult. I watched it.
You could be an adult and watch it, but it's not aimed at an adult. This is called, I'm going to read the name here, the Top 25 Animated Series for Adults. Spectacular Spider-Man is not for adults. Just because an adult might like it doesn't mean it's for adults. There is a difference, and this is why I was kind of the IGN list. They don't know the difference. That would be like putting Aqua Teen Hunger Force on your best children's list.
This is why we're discussing it. To get our,
It's not. It's not. Don't get me wrong. The show didn't do anything for me. It's not a bad show.
It had very good artistic episodes that would have flown over little kids' heads. Like I was telling you earlier about an episode where almost half the episode was done without volume. It was just opera singing in the background. It was like that episode of Batman Beyond, Shriek, where they were fighting with no sound.
And as an adult, I enjoyed the show, Batman Beyond. I still wouldn't put it on the top 25. I still wouldn't put it on a list for adult animation. What about you, Carlos?
No, this is definitely not a show that's aimed at adults and therefore should not be on this list.
and that's my main argument with it at this point. Is a lot of the shows that we're going to come across are not aimed at adults and do not belong on this list. This is not a top 25 animated adult series list. This is a hey 25 shows that adults enjoy list. Massive, massive difference.
And even that's stretching it.
Yeah, and you are up next with number 20, Carlos.
Ugh. The number 20, The Life and Times of Tim. Produced, written, and voiced by Steve Dildarian, The Life and Times of Tim lasted for 3 seasons on HBO and served as the driest, wryest animated comedy to not feature H. John Benjamin. The show revolved around Tim, a mid-20s nobody, navigating his life from one awkward situation to another, with guest voices from the likes of Aziz Ansari, Jeff Garlin, Bob Saget, and Daniel Tosh. I've seen maybe half an episode of this. I couldn't sit through it.
Okay.
The driest show, have they compared it to Everybody Loves Raymond?
What?
I think I've never actually seen the show because I've never actually had HBO, so I don't get to watch stuff like this.
I can truly say this is the first time I've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
And how it lasted for 3 seasons, I'm guessing somebody was fucking the boss.
I was to say I genuinely won't comment on it because I literally this is the first time I've seen it. This is the first time I've seen anything about it, so I can't say one way or the other. I mean, it looks like it was drawn by a group of 5-year-olds. I'm pretty sure that's intentional.
I've seen 5-year-olds draw better.
Well, you should check out Fox's new shows that are coming out on Animation Domination later this year.
I was to say it's like, well, I mean, the only reason I'm not making fun of it for that is we've seen home movies, and what was the psychiatrist, Dr. Katz.
Oh God!
So
are you having a seizure?
So it's like I won't make fun of the animation because I look at both of those and I like those shows. I actually kind of got a kick out of the way they were animated. So,
but I think with those shows, the animation was the point. Or
exactly.
Half the point.
But see, those are also very smart shows, and they were aimed at adults. Oh yeah, they're not on this list. And they were funny, and for some reason are not on this list. IGN, you fail. All right, next on the list.
This is your turn, man.
God help me. Number 19, Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It sucks ass. Anybody else?
I don't get it. It's a talking meatball, French fries, and shake. How? Why? What? It's.
I can't stand this show myself. Apart from Meatwad, who's actually kind of funny only because of his voice. This show is just worthless as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
I don't even know how they got a movie deal for this show.
I was just about to mention that. It's how do you take a piece of crap 10, 15-minute cartoon? And sadly, that's pretty much what Adult Swim has become, is crap all night.
Yeah, remember when Cartoon Network had cartoons?
Yeah. I mean, I guess some of their stuff on Saturday night, I haven't looked at Toonami recently. I guess some of the anime they have on there is pretty good. And they do have a show that's on this list that I like coming up. But, yeah, I've got nothing on Aqua Teen. I just wish they'd stop making it.
Yeah.
I don't care if they stop or continue. I don't care either way because I don't watch it.
And I'm surprised there's actually people out there that do. It's a sad state, that this world is, in
Everybody I know that watches this are 10 years younger than me. So
and I think that's part of it as well.
It's like
it just genuinely might be a generation gap where I can't say we necessarily like smarter humor because look at some of the shit we enjoy.
It's not about smarter. It's just kid or younger. Oh my God, I sound really old saying this. People younger than us just find the simplest things funny.
Yep.
There's no charisma to telling a joke. There's no build up to it. It's all farting and pies to the face and too much slapstick.
Which does have its place. There's nothing wrong with that on occasion. But when that's all it is,
Well, look at the Three Stooges.
Well, that was good slapstick. They actually told jokes in the middle of it too.
right? And it wasn't every night either. Where it's like, hey, here you go again with the exact same thing. Here you go again with the exact same thing. Yeah, I genuinely have nothing else to say about this piece of garbage. Next would be Dave.
Yes. 18. Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. I like this one.
I miss this show so much.
Yes. Basically, you've taken an old character from from the cartoons and you put him behind the desk of a late night show.
And
Interviewing celebrities. His two main villains are his co-hosts,
Moltar,
Zorak.
Moltar.
Well,
Zorak.
we can't forget my absolute favorite, Brack.
Yes.
Fucking Brack. Now, mind you, his own TV show was not nearly as funny as it was when he was on Space Ghost. It had its moments. I
was
love
like-
his basically Ricky Ricardo father, but he worked best when he was with them. That and singing about how much he loves beans.
Because I actually couldn't stand. I had watched the original Space Ghost cartoons, and they just didn't really do anything for me. Because all he could do was fly and turn invisible. He actually had no powers. All of his powers came from the wristbands and the belt.
Well, see, this is where we differ a little bit because
You say that as if like the Green Lantern doesn't do the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah, good
that's
point.
True. But where I've got a few years on the two of you guys here. I grew up watching repeats of the old Hanna-Barbera stuff,
So did I.
including Birdman and Space Ghost, and I genuinely enjoyed them when I was much younger. Then again, when I was 4, I still enjoyed eating dirt. So
Covered in paste covered in dirt.
there you go. But
Never
no,
ate
it's,
either.
I always got a kick out of it. But Space Ghost, just him and the goddamn shark, just him doing anything at all was just. I mean, he blasted Zorak at least once an episode.
At least.
It got to the point where I'm sitting there. I'd have to watch the episode once because I was not paying attention to anything. I just wanted to see how long it was going to take before he shot somebody. Basically, he was a mass murderer in disguise. Anybody got anything else to say about the show, or?
Not really. I never got to see much of this. I've only seen like little snippets in like commercials.
Oh,
I think aren't they still playing? Aren't they starting to run repeats on Toonami of the show?
I think so.
I think so. I think they're actually available on DVD as well. Surprisingly, but
I believe Carlos is next.
I was about to say we'll go on to the next show.
Number 17, The Boondocks. Based on a syndicated comic strip, The Boondocks was first developed as a series for Fox before being rejected for its non-network appeal. Then it was picked up by Adult Swim with the directive that it not try to appeal to a network audience at all. What remains is a poignant, sometimes controversial look at politics and race as brothers Huey and Riley Freeman, both voiced by Regina King, and their grandfather addressed hot-button issues and in unconventionally humorous ways. I've seen a few episodes of this. Then the few that I've seen are hysterical.
Yeah,
It's just like, and sometimes wrong in so many ways.
one of my favorites is Mark Hamill as the painter. When he gets, I think Huey is the younger one, where he gets Huey to just graffiti all over the house.
I don't
And
recall that one.
oh God, well they're making fun of that one painter from PBS.
Bob
Oh
Ross?
God.
Yes, that
Oh,
is
okay, I think I have seen that one.
Mark Hamill channels that guy perfectly, and he's talking in that happy tree and happy cloud, and using that kind of voice the whole time while shooting at cops driving a high speed chase.
Like, how about we put a little tree right over here?
He's like, how about I put a little bullet right in the tire over here? It's just firing out the window. It's like, oh my God. Did I actually want to buy this show on DVD so I can see all of the episodes. They are just absolutely phenomenal. It's one of the best shows on Cartoon Network right now, and yeah, it belongs much higher than this 17 on IGN.
Mm.
Okay, anybody else?
No.
Anything to add? No.
I've got nothing else really on it. This is good. This is good stuff.
Yes, I think we're all kind of in agreement on this one. All right, and for the next one on the list of adult cartoons that is not actually an adult cartoon would be The Tick at number 16. This show that does not belong on this particular list is based on a future supernatural writer, Ben Edlund's independent comic series, The Tick, and gave us a lovable hero whose bombastic rhetoric knows no bounds. Whether it was musical invader, is there no end to your oozing, or evil is out there making handcrafted mischief for the swap meet of villainy. We got our, like I said, I like the show, but it doesn't belong on this list. We got our first taste of a mighty hero who was a learned, well-spoken doofus. Before superhero movies were a staple of every summer, The Tick parodied the entire genre, offering up a brigade of misfit heroes and villains fighting absurd battles in a nameless city. Yeah, we'll talk about it. God, sorry.
I love this show. The villains especially.
Oh yeah.
The villains were just
Well, you had the
way out there.
You had the Midnight Bomber who bombs at midnight. I mean, this show is great.
Chair.
Spoon. Again.
And then you got, a freaking rip at Captain America with American Made, and
Oh, yeah.
the making fun of Batman with Batmanuel.
Yeah.
Actually, on the cartoon, it was Deflator Mouse.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Actually, they had both, didn't they? Oh no, I'm getting it confused with the live action.
In the animated, it was Deflator Mouse.
Yes.
The live action was Batmanuel.
And the only reason they changed that is because Fox is a little on the nervous side about Batmanuel. That it might hurt somebody's feelings. All I can say to that is get the hell over it. It's a joke.
Good point.
Yeah. Now, if this show belonged on the list, I would talk about it more, but it doesn't. So, Dave, we'll move on to the next.
Oh,
Next
I
one.
get stuck with this piece of crap.
Yeah, your fault.
I'll trade you.
Nope.
Carlos, want to trade?
Say no,
No.
Carlos.
Number 15. Adventure Time.
You know, another show that doesn't belong on this list because again,
A wonderful, whimsical delight. Adventure Time may have only colorfully roared into the scene a few years ago, but is already established cosplay-worthy hit. Never-ending adventures of Finn, the human, and Jake, played by John DiMaggio, might
Better
seem
known as
aggressive.
Bender.
Yes,
Hey, there's a show that's not on this list.
Futurama?
actually,
Yeah.
it is later on down the
Oh, is it?
list.
Never mind.
So, shah.
Well, nice to know they got one right.
I just
Just don't
I
even bother to finish
see. I
reading
know
it.
it's popular with adults. We saw at the con lots of people dressed, in cosplay as
Well,
these characters.
the brain dead go, ooh, look, pretty colors, and work with it.
Here's the thing about the cosplay. It's easy.
That too.
You just put
It's
on a hat.
simple.
Yeah. Um, I couldn't give less than. You know, how people say I couldn't give less than two shits about this show. I couldn't give less than a half a shit about this show.
They keep
I don't
shows
even
like
want to fart in its general direction because it's not worth it.
Cartoon Network keeps shows like this, and they get rid of shows like Young Justice and Green Lantern.
They
Or
keep what gets
the
ratings.
or the new Thundercats.
I was kind of iffy on Thundercats.
Actually, it was getting really damn good, and then, of course they ended it on a bloody cliffhanger.
Yeah, with Bird City.
But
I was getting kind of iffy on it anyway.
and you get number 14, sir.
Number 14, The Venture Brothers.
Johnny Quest's older retarded brother.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to read the little write-up they did on it.
Yeah.
If it matters.
Go ahead.
Now in its 5th season, with the 6th still on the way, The Venture Brothers is a satiric reimagining of the 60s series The Adventures of Johnny Quest, with a nice jab at this entire superhero genre thrown in for good measure. Creators Jackson Public
I
and
thought it was
Doc Hammer.
public.
Public. I don't care. I'm saying it like it's spelled.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And Doc Cameron know exactly how to skewer actions like this, even retroactively commenting on how perversely irresponsible a show like Johnny Quest was by having venture twins Hank and Dean get killed over and over again, and their father Rusty experiencing trauma from his previous stint as a boy adventurer. But let's not forget one of the show's best creation contributions to our popular culture, the Monarch. No, I prefer, let's not forget the show's best creative contribution to our popular culture, Molotov cocktease.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen
About
maybe
the only good thing to come out of that show.
I've seen maybe a few minutes out of this entire series.
I've seen an episode or two.
I can understand this is one I'll give some slack to. I can genuinely understand why a lot of people like it.
Because it's a parody.
Exactly. It just not doing it for me. I'm not sure why. This is normally something I would really like. I don't know if maybe it's the animation style. Maybe it's the voice acting. I'm not sure what it is, but just something about it I just don't care for. Yeah, it's just kind of an. To me, it's an okay show. I do think it belongs on the list. Probably sitting right about where it's at. Right. You know, in the 14-15 slot.
Oh yeah, this is not a show for kids at all.
No. This
God,
this
no.
is an adult show. Unlike the previous two that we just talked about. Anybody else, or should I move on?
I got nothing because I had no love for the show.
Okay.
The animation's
on.
fine, but
I'm sorry, Dave.
otherwise, no love for the show.
What were you gonna say, Dave?
Let's move on.
Okay. Episode 13.
Episode?
Or, excuse me, number 13. Yeah.
It's
King of
late.
the Hill. I'll give it that it belongs on this list.
Yes.
Let me read the blurb. From Mike Judge, Beavis and Butthead in Office Space, and Greg Daniels, Simpsons in The Office. King of the Hill felt more like a regular family sitcom when compared to its more satiric and surreal peers, telling sweet, funny, traditional style stories that revolved around marriage, work, and coming of age. Lasting 13 seasons,
Damn.
This series proved that there was a market for an animation outside the realm of rapid fire references and lampooning. At the Hills provided us with a chance to both laugh at and laugh with the exquisite stubbornness of Texas seared Americana. I know I'm going to catch hell for this. I don't hate this show.
I don't hate it either. I just don't care for it. Everybody on this show is a moron.
It's not that. It's just I know people like I've known people like this. My in-law's brother, or my brother-in-law's brother, is like some of these.
Okay, think about this. Your brother-in-law's brother, every character on the show is that.
Yeah, and right down to the guy that goes on. I don't know, man.
But see, now I genuinely do have family members like that. I think that's why I like this show. Is because it does remind me of some of these people. And it's like, oh my god, I keep forgetting how dumb they are. And then I watch this show, and I'm like, oh yeah.
But
So
like I
which
said to
ones-
Dave, every character on this show is that same thing.
That's the thing. You do have a couple of characters on here though that will turn around and go, will you stop and look at yourself for a minute? Like there are times where
but
the
usually
kid
it's Hank
Bobby
that
will
says
want to
it.
do something, but his father is kind of apparently a raging homophobe. Like
He's
Bobby
Texas.
wanted to
He's
Just
from
everything.
Texas.
He's a
Right.
Republican everything phobe.
like I said, his son. I think there was an episode where he wanted to do dance, and he did everything he could to keep him from doing it. And it's like, finally, Peggy, his Hank's wife, is like, why? Well, because he's gonna go and do this, that, and the other thing. And she's like, is he enjoying himself? Well, yeah. Is he a kid? Yeah. Then what's the problem with it? Again, that's just me.
Your video just froze,
Yours did too, Dave. So
and now you're gone.
I should be back. Reboot yours, sir.
Oh wait, I forgot. My laptop's not a touch screen.
Wow. and then it's your turn to move on because I think we've pretty much covered.
Oh great!
King of
It
the
will
Hill.
not. It will not let. There we go. It will not let me turn the video on.
Well, we see the old school top hat that he used to wear.
It'll not let. Oh, God! I get stuck with this one now. SpongeBob SquarePants number 12.
Can we just skip this?
I wish
I would
we
love
could.
to.
Hey, guess what? It's another one that doesn't belong on this list.
Anyways, well, I think it's because of all the innuendos that are in this show.
They did the same thing on Animaniacs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still wouldn't
You want
put
to
it
talk
on this
about
list.
innuendos?
Yeah, I mean,
Fingerprints. That's all I have to say.
sire.
Maybe later.
Well, here's a few of the
your
big
video
ones
is
is
trying to come back. By the way,
your video's trying to come back.
it's trying to come back over here. It's buffering.
You know, yours is too.
Well, here, I'll shut mine off,
I already did that.
and now I'm back on.
Um,
Oh well, as long as they can hear us at the moment, that's all that matters.
well, this is a kid's show. It's lasted quite a long time.
Too damn long.
Yeah, a little way too long. It's just it's a couple of retarded people just doing retarded things. There is absolutely no aesthetic value or any value to this show at all.
I mean, the same could be said for one that is going to show up much later on the list.
You get this, really,
I just quickly want to say this is almost like a generational thing.
Well,
Yeah.
he just reminds me of
Just
the
like Adventure
special.
Time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get slapped in the face for this or yelled at by anybody that sees this, but it reminds me of the special kid that works at the, local
It's the
fast food.
Fry Girl.
Dang! Oh God! Did I fight with that?
Anybody who listens to Hollywood Babylon will understand that. Um, yeah. Okay.
We
Yeah,
might have.
I think that's all we've got to say about this. It doesn't belong on the list because it's again a fucking kid show, and it's a bad kid show. If you're a parent, you let your child watch this, you need to be slapped. How's that?
Pause.
Carlos, your turn.
Number 11, Butthead. Now,
Okay.
Hello?
this is the show I watched a lot of. And I enjoyed it back when MTV actually played fucking music.
Oh, hang on. We lost Dave. I'm trying to call him back. Are you still there, Carlos?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here.
There
I'm
you
here.
go. Sorry about that.
Where was I?
You were just getting ready to read the Beavis and Butthead.
Okay. Starting off as characters in Mike Judge's 1992 short, Frog Baseball, Beavis and Butthead were given their own MTV series in which they would watch, sit on their couch, dream about scoring with chicks, harass their neighbor, Proto Hank Hill, Mr. Anderson, ignore their teacher, Mr. Van Driesen, torment winger tea-wearing classmate Stuart, and occasionally watch snippets of music videos. It was a disarmingly smart series about two dumbasses. Pop culture stardom.
Wait. I'm sorry. You're not even going to get to finish that. Did they actually have the balls to put the word smart in there?
Disarming. It was kinda. If you pay it, if you read between the lines in a way.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry.
But, the same way you were talking about Daria it's kind of similar to the way this show was.
That's why Daria got her own series though, because all they did was pick on Daria when she was on here, and then they went over there and they actually were able to do smart shit with Daria, where all they did was basically what this little gif is doing down here, sit there and hump their couch.
Well, think about this.
This show almost makes me want to watch The Housewives of Pick a State.
Oh, look at that! I can finally see you.
Hey.
No, well, here's the thing about Beavis and Butthead. They were the early '90s version of Jersey Shore.
No,
You're not helping their
No.
case, honey.
no, dude, no. That's not even right.
Although Beavis does look a tad Snooki-like,
Yes, but they were fun. We actually had music videos.
Yeah.
Back when MTV was cool.
if you
And
say
now-
so. I always thought the damn show was stupid.
It was, but that
And
was half the fun.
Yeah,
No, I don't mean
I mean-
stupid funny. I mean just stupid as in...
taking a dog and sticking it in a dryer. When they were asked to clean the dog, and they just put it in a washer, and then put it in a dryer. They did stupid stuff. And I'm just wondering why, how they got jobs in this show.
I don't know, and I honestly couldn't give a damn. I'm not even gonna lie.
Ugh.
The show came back and is evidently gone again already. Thank God.
Well, the newer version wasn't with.
Let's put it this way: I would rather watch an entire series made out of scientifically accurate Ducktales
Shut up.
than
That
I
wasn't
would
fun.
the
Okay, that was funny.
than watch an entire episode of Beavis and Butthead. It's just yeah. What? What's the matter? You okay?
No, you get the next one on the list. You get a good one.
Depends
This
on
is-
your definition.
And this actually was a primetime series. This was intended for the family, so it squeaks onto the list. Barely. The Rocky and Bullwinkle Show. Puns, political humor, self-deprecation, and meta moments. Quite a leap for an animated variety show from the early 60s.
And plenty of Cold War humor.
Oh, yeah. Rocky and Bullwinkle were gloriously ahead of their time, influencing everything from The Simpsons to Supernatural. Where do you think Crowley's Moose and Squirrel reference came from? In between thwarting the plots and schemes of Russian spies Boris Badenov and Natasha Fatal, Rocky and Bullwinkle led us through an assortment of supporting serial segments such as Dudley Do-Right, Mr. Peabody and Sherman, and Fractured Fairy Tales.
God, I love Fractured Fairy Tales.
I
Those were
loved
awesome.
everything about this show. It was just... I watched it when I was a kid, and this is kind of like the best of Looney Tunes, where you watch it as a kid and you get it for the slapstick and hey, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat, and he pulls out like a rhino or a lion or something. And then when you get older, you watch it again and it's like, holy crap, you've got this whole layer that you didn't realize was there before.
Yeah, it's like when you're watching Warner Brothers cartoons now, you're like, oh my God, Bugs Bunny, was confused about his sexual identity. He was always in a dress.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think it was confused at all.
Now, what do you think about Rocky and Bullwinkle, Carlos? Really? We're not going to jump on you for your opinion. That's the whole point.
I can never stand Bullwinkle. He's just too stupid to be taken even remotely. He's too stupid to be funny.
Well, here's the thing. He's still smarter than Beavis and Butthead put together, and with Rocky and Bullwinkle, it was still a better love story than Twilight.
And he graduated from What's the Matter You?
Yes, he's a college graduate.
Joe, two midgets shitting in a bucket is a better love story than Twilight.
Two Girls, One Cup.
God damn it! I knew you were gonna say that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
No.
If you were sorry, you wouldn't have done it.
I'm trying to be, but no. And I have frightened off our one and only listener. Goodbye. But no, as for, in all seriousness, this show is one of my all-time favorites, and it deserves to be higher than number 10. As a matter of fact, personally, it needs to be replacing number 1. Very easily needs to be replacing number 1. Again, in my opinion. Okay, and number 9 goes to the next person in line.
And now here's something we hope you'll really like.
Number 9, Family Guy.
Wasn't that supposed to be Carlos?
Nope.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
after you.
Oh, yep, you're right. My apologies.
Perhaps taking the name Animation Domination, a little too seriously. Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy, and his producer, and the producer of American Dad and the Cleveland Show, eventually filled up 3/4 of the Sunday night time slot. It all started with Family Guy. It ended up being, I think it wasn't canceled at one point.
Yes, it was.
And then brought back because it had such a huge fan base. This is an adult cartoon. There is murder,
Yes.
mayhem, being raped by a worm when you're a strawberry, being raped by your daughter in the shower.
It just has some really dark episodes as well,
Oh,
which
God.
are almost not comedy.
Yeah, they're so dark they're not funny. Like
Yeah, there's a couple that aren't meant to be funny,
you got,
but are
Quagmire
still
Sister?
brilliant. I'm sorry?
Quagmire's sister,
yes,
That whole
that one too.
episode?
I was thinking of the Bank Vault.
the bank vault.
Yep.
Brian on shrooms. That one time he was on. That was a brutal episode.
It was.
Is that
But
the one where we cut off his ear?
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I'm gonna reveal here that I am a bit of a sick fuck, but I actually found that episode pretty goddamn funny.
But one of the best things about the show is the cutaways gags.
Yes.
It's you just all of a sudden they're talking and they cut away to Hitler on a unicycle, and you're just like, what the hell is that for?
And of course, most people agree that 3 of their absolute all-time best episodes, their version of the Star Wars trilogy.
Yes.
Poor
Yes.
Meg. How come I never get a line in any of these? Shut up, Meg. 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 Meg, 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 Meg.
Oh.
Oh, that last one was real. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all we've got.
I mean, look at it. Not only is it on Fox, but you even get to get the better version of the show on Adult Swim when the new episodes come out on Mondays.
Yes.
They actually show the stuff they can't show on Fox.
Yeah. And you've also got a particular word that Peter really likes.
Okay.
It's a feathered creature.
Chicken?
Bird is the word.
No, we're not going to start that.
Why not?
It's supposed to be, haven't you heard?
Yeah, I'm playing the
You didn't-
clip right now.
You didn't even set the joke up right.
Hey, you could have either gone with the chicken beating the crap out of him, which you did, or the bird is the word. I set it up loosely enough that you could go either way.
Ew.
Well, half the cast on that show is loose. Look at
Everyone
Meg.
Meg.
Look at Meg.
God.
Tonight you are the New
The New
York
York
Knicks.
I mean, God, the whole show centers on Brian, bestiality with Brian, fucking humans. Brian's a dog,
Stewie wanting his money.
Stewie wanting his mom
No,
at the end of last season.
I'm
Either
talking
wants
about.
to kill her or bang her.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Stewie wanting his money from Brian. That scene was brutal.
Where's my money?
And then by the end of the episode, you got Brian throwing Stewie into a bus.
Yep.
I think we should move on. I think we all agree that this is a good show.
Yes. Carlos, number 8.
Number 8, Robot Chicken.
Yay!
Childhood personified.
Childhood on crack.
Yes. Everything we did with our action figures is pretty much done with this show.
Not everything.
Ew.
I never did that.
I wish you could see the look on Dave's face right
There's
now.
always time for lube.
Ugh. Ugh. No.
Oh my
Continue.
God. Go ahead.
Robot Chicken may not be a cartoon, but it's an animated series nevertheless. And there's simply no better place to go in order to watch your childhood get spectacularly warped via stop-motion technology. Whether it's Popeye brutally collecting on a hamburger debt from Wimpy, Sonic the Hedgehog getting lacerated on a SWAT team spike strip, or Fruity Yummy Mummy having a lover spat with Frankenberry, Seth Green and Matthew Steinrich's body action figure puppet show has kept us laughing for the past 8 years. And let's not forget the 3 Star Wars specials and the DC comic special, which hilariously took on a beloved big-name franchises.
Has the show really been on for 8 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been canceled for 7 too.
Well,
No, it's been,
They cancel it every year.
7 times.
Oh, by the way, you mentioned the DC special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they pretty much announced on the Blu-ray that there will be another one.
God, thank you.
Well, they're gonna have to. If DC's, keeps putting out movies.
DC needs whatever help it can get.
Oh, I know how they could start the episode.
It's
with,
pretty. It's pretty
Superman destroying the entire Robot Chicken cast and crew.
Or
he snaps Seth Green's neck. He's like, yeah, I want to see that.
Well, they already killed zombie Seth Green in the show.
Are you a Cylon? I guess we could be a Cylon. I knew it, you motherfucker. My favorite is still when they had they managed to get Joss Whedon a cameo on there.
He cameos on there a lot, actually.
Well, I mean as Joss Whedon though.
Yeah, he
When,
cameos on there a lot.
When they were trying to get him to back the second season of the show,
Yeah,
and Seth MacFarlane gets Joss and Ronald D. Moore to shoot each other.
yeah. Joss Whedon's also was on the season finale this year
Yep.
because they did a parody of Cabin in the Woods.
Okay, yeah, I recently saw that movie too.
What'd you think?
Oh,
Oh, come on. It was fun.
it was such a rip off of you've got
That's
zombies at a cabin in the wood. It's a rip off.
It's not a ripoff. It's
that.
a complete parody. There's a difference. He was spoofing everything. That's why he had that scene when they're in the elevator. You see all these nightmare creatures. Those were literally everything that he wanted to put into Buffy and Angel, and either A, the network wouldn't allow, or B, he had to tone it down.
I thought giant spiders was the guy's idea from Wild Wild West.
My favorite scene is the scene with the soldiers in the elevator bank.
I haven't seen this movie yet. Knock it off.
You need to see it, Carlos. It is awesome.
No, my favorite scene is Chris Hemsworth's death. That was the best.
It was
Does he
so
get beaten
funny.
with a hammer?
Bang,
No,
bang, bang,
No.
bang.
you said you haven't seen it, so
Well, you've already gone this far.
He hit something hard. We'll leave it at that. You need to see it, Carlos. In all seriousness, it is an awesome movie. I made my own double disc. It's like on a night where I just want to watch pure silly horror. It's gonna be a holiday thing because I've got Cabin in the Woods, and then Santa's Sleigh.
silly horror.
What about
Speak-
Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving.
Gingerbread Man. Speaking of funny horror, we are gonna try and pop Dave's girlfriend's cherry when it comes to Rocky Horror.
Oh my God. Okay, never mind. Like, I don't want to know where this is going. I think we should move on to number 7.
Yes, it's actually your turn.
Yes, is it? Okay. Archer. This is a show I've never seen.
I don't know, but I like the picture.
Well, I know it's
Who
William
would?
Street. These are the guys who work on a lot of the Adult Swim stuff. Though his code name might be Duchess, and his
Really?
oh yeah, and his edible issues are endless. ISIS agent Sterling Archer is the narcissistic cad you want on your team, and as a hyperviolent TVMA LSV version of Get Smart, Archer is busted out on FX to become a ratings hit and a pop culture quote machine. From C-Lab 2021's Adam Reed, Archer is a marvelous mishmash of retro spy style and future tech, combining Sean Connery's Bond with Jason Bourne and all the STDs in between.
Oh, God.
H. John Benjamin provides Archer dry, egotistical heroism, while Aisha Tyler, Jessica Walter, Chris Parnell, and Judy Greer fill in as his unhinged ISIS team. So, if you like your sex and violence mixed with obscure references to Chekhov, Melville, Tolkien, and of course Loggins, then this Molotov cocktail's for you.
For Christ's sake, I didn't pay you to talk. I paid you to blow off my balls.
Well, there's a little gif here with a guy talking to what looks like is his butler. I'm assuming it's Archer. And the gif says, I have to go. But if I find one single dog hair when I get back, I'll rub sand in your dead little eyes.
Okay.
I can't say what, although after reading the cast, I may have to give the damn show a try now.
Well, Aisha Tyler's pretty funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
she's actually doing good at when on Whose Line.
I was about to say she's the new host on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
You did know that was back, right, Carlos?
Yes, I did. I saw a commercial for it today, as a matter of fact.
Yay! I'll be watching it after we're done recording.
I will too.
I'll be going to bed.
Well,
Oh.
good for you.
But yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I really don't have a whole hell of a lot to say about it because I haven't watched it.
I haven't seen it myself.
No, I haven't. You know what? There's not much on FX I watch anymore, other than movies when they come on. I don't watch some of their original program. I haven't watched original programming on FX since The Shield.
Did you ever watch Rescue Me?
No.
You should. A phenomenal series. Okay, so I guess we'll move to number 6.
Alrighty. Avatar: The Last Airbender / Legend of Korra.
Hey, guess what?
Okay,
Neither
it's
of these shows belong on a fucking list.
Well, it's a small cheat to combine both shows, but they both need to be on the list because real estate to its real estate is too valuable. And what creators Brian Kazico and Michael Dante DeMartino. I suck
Yeah,
at
that guy.
yeah, exactly. Managed to do with the Avatar sequel, Korra, is arguably outdo themselves. With a rare thing for a spin-off series, animated or not, Avatar and Korra boast well-crafted storytelling, crisp, beautiful animation set in fantastic, immersive world centered around a dynamic cast of characters. The stories of Aang and Korra have grabbed onto fans who can't get enough of this world, and we can't blame them. Now, as far as Legend of Korra goes, I think it can just barely make this list because of the serious issues that have been presented. You haven't finished the series.
No. But it's a series that is, at the end of the day, aimed at children. Again, because you have more serious storylines that adults can enjoy, if it's a series that's aimed at children, at the end of the day, it's a series aimed at children.
Yeah, well,
you
so
can
is
have
Doctor
adult
Who.
humor in a show that's aimed at children. Look at Animaniacs. Animaniacs doesn't belong on this list. I don't care how many times they fingerprints.
Ah,
Doesn't belong on there.
What the hell was that?
That was Carlos moaning in pain. Are you okay, Carlos?
yeah. I think my brain is starting to ooze out of my ears, though.
For a second there, I was about to start singing, "It's a small world after all."
Stop it.
Oh, sorry, another bit from somebody else's show. We shouldn't really do that.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? The seriousness of the Legend of Korra, it got a lot more serious. They were killing people left and right in the new series.
Have you seen the new Tron animated series?
I have not.
They kill at least one person every episode. I still would not put that on this list. Do you know why?
D-Rez.
You can call it whatever you want. When I see somebody stab someone from the other side of a wall straight through their chest and they look down and see that they're about to die, you know what? You may not have blood. That's still pretty damn gruesome. It's still a show aimed at children.
All right.
We're going by what if the shows belong on the list or not.
Carlos really hasn't weighed in on this episode or on this show.
I've never watched either.
Really?
So, yeah, really. I can't say anything because I've never watched either.
Okay. Well,
Check them out. I think The Last Airbender, all 4 seasons were on Netflix. If you ever want to check them out.
I've got very little time, and
they're short. They're only like 24, if that, minute long.
I
so.
get that, but I have more interesting things to do with my time.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Watch it anyway.
Well, Carlos gets a good one in number 5.
Number 5, Ren and Stimpy.
Yes.
As a precursor to the likes of Beavis and Butthead and South Park, this controversial 1991 Nickelodeon series, Nickelodeon
Yep.
series.
So they're going with the kid-friendly version, which means
Okay, even the
It does-
kid-friendly version was
does
fucked
not
up.
belong on
Yeah,
the list.
Fucked up, yes. Aimed for children.
See, that's the part Dave doesn't want
was
to grasp
prime
onto.
time.
No, it wasn't. It started out in the 6 o'clock time slot because I used to watch it. Go ahead, Carlos. I'm sorry.
This controversial 1991 Nickelodeon series featured a disturbed chihuahua and a chowder-headed cat. Wowed the college crowd with gross-out humor, sexual innuendo, and crude scenarios. And the craziest part was that it was part of a block that also featured Rugrats and Doug. So yeah, there were plenty of writer battles with the Standards of Practices department. The animation style involved body distortion and grotesque close-ups, while the humor ranged from whimsical to deranged, with the writers constantly refusing to create the educational show that the network wanted. Creator John... Anyone can pronounce that?
Kricfalusi.
Okay.
And everybody just calls him John K for short.
Okay. Who was eventually fired by Nick, cites the violence in an episode, Man's Best Friend, as the final straw in his strained relationship with his bosses.
Which they have that episode on
Yeah.
this page, along with my favorite, Space Madness. I love this series. Well, I love the Nickelodeon series. It's kind of sad that they put the kid-friendly version up on the list. Do you know why
Especially
they did?
since the
they-
Spike TV one was worse.
Yeah. Well, the reason that the Spike TV version isn't on the list is that was the
Nobody
one that was
watched.
aimed at adults, and it sucked ass because
It had a few good ones.
well, here's the problem, where they knew this was aimed at kids, but again, they wanted to get the innuendos in there. That was the fun part, was seeing the innuendos and how they were kind of skirting past and getting away with what they did. On Spike, they were allowed to do whatever they want, and that ruined a lot of it.
Like Ren getting a job shaving girls' pussies at the beach.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I mean, they had an entire episode about nipples in the kids' version. But because they were rubber nipples for the milk bottles, you could get away with it. We knew what they were talking about. You had
My
to be an idiot not to.
My favorite things. Vlog.
Everyone loves a log.
Powdered Toast Man. Again, awesome show, but again, does not belong on this list in any way, shape, or form, sadly. And I mean any way, shape, or form, because you got the good version, which was aimed at kids, and the bad one for the adults, which doesn't belong on this list.
You get you get the next one, Joe.
Number 4, one that actually does cater to adults. Number 4 is Futurama. As another series like Family Guy that was resurrected from Fox cancellation by Comedy Central, Futurama has sadly, this is its last season, by the way.
Yeah.
Futurama has provided us with some of the funniest, darkest, well-written allegories of all time. Operating at both a high and low level, the writing on Futurama allows us to look at ourselves now through the eyes of the future, while also being reminded that the same societal problems will probably always exist. It's a love story, a worker story, a human rights story, and a haven for sci-fi and math formula references. Simpsons creator Matt Groening and executive producer David X. Cohen have given us a series that will stand the test of time because, quite simply, it's out of time. And nothing to this date has made us sadder than the ending to the episode Jurassic Bark. Nothing. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm not going to even include it here. You're going to have to YouTube it yourself. And there's a gif of Bender under it. It says, "I'm so embarrassed. I wish everyone else was dead."
I love
Man,
Bender.
he sounds like that dog from Adventure Time.
Yeah. That kids show that somehow got on this list.
Since we're actually on Futurama and we've already gone through Family Guy, should I tell that there was two announcements? I'll tell the other one later of a Family Guy Futurama crossover.
No, really?
No, wait.
Yes,
Isn't it a Simpsons Futurama crossover?
there were two mentioned. You just spoiled the second one for me for the number one slot.
No. Not necessarily, because there was another crossover mentioned.
Yeah, two of them. I was going to mention the Simpsons one, at the end of the list.
Actually, both involve The Simpsons.
Well, we'll talk about the Simpsons if and when we get to the Simpsons. How's that? In the meantime, why don't we talk about Futurama? Um, this has actually got some of my favorite all-time characters in it. Um, Especially Bender and Fry. I absolutely love their relationship. One of my favorite episodes is early on when Fry is looking for an apartment, and Bender lets Fry stay in his closet, which is the size of a full apartment.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any favorite characters from this show?
Zoidberg.
Bender?
Other than well, Dave said Zoidberg. How about you? Yours is Bender.
Bender.
Mine, believe it or not, Nibbler.
Yeah, smart
Come
Nibbler
on, he
or
shits out dark matter. He shits out rocket fuel. I need a Nibbler so I can build a spaceship and fly around.
You're not smart enough to build a spaceship, let alone fly it around.
Well, okay, fine. I'll hire somebody else to build it, but goddamn it, I'm flying it. And it's going to be named the Millennium Falcon. I don't care if it looks like a giant dildo.
Ugh.
Go ahead, Dave. What?
nothing.
can see
I
the
was
wheel.
actually let's see. I'm looking up news for it's a Simpsons slash I think Carlos was right. It was a Simpsons Futurama crossover.
Yay! I'm
Well,
correct.
have to take a look at that.
Because
But
it's their last season. It's their last chance to get a shot in.
mm, and yeah, that ending of that episode, Jurassic Bark, is actually really damn sad.
Never seen that episode.
It's where Fry's dog.
Don't spoil it for him. Let him watch it. That's one you've got to see if you like Futurama. It's a flashback episode, but it's genuinely sad, especially for that show.
Mm-hmm.
So, so does anybody else have anything to say about Futurama?
Nothing more.
We get the 3 movies out of it.
Oh yeah, well, was it 3 or 4?
I think it was 4.
Yeah, which basically comprised of an entire season once they cut them up,
Yeah.
which was smart thinking.
Not to mention it had been like Family Guy had been canceled had been canceled and brought back on Comedy Central.
Yeah, Futurama.
Yeah, you said Family Guy.
I said like Family Guy. It was
Oh,
canceled.
like Family Guy. Okay, my apologies. I guess we should move on to number 3,
Yay!
which you already know. You know what I'm going to say about this one.
I know it's not an adult series. You can calm yourself, but I like it anyway. Number
I didn't say I
3,
didn't like it.
Batman the Animated Series. During their movie
Are you doing the
studios-
robot, Dave?
What?
Are you doing the robot?
No, why?
There you go. I don't know. You were getting very, very distorted.
Yes.
Anyways, during an era when movie studios wanted to move away from dark portrayal of Batman.
Doing it again.
Okay.
You're doing the robot again.
I'm not doing the robot.
Dave, what are you doing, Dave? Dave's like, I just want the show to be over.
I just want to read what I'm reading. No, Batman the Animated Series raised the bar and redefined the quality of superhero storytelling. It gave us dark, complex themes, incredible art, and welcomed faithfulness to the title character, his crime-fighting origins. Winning the Emmy for Outstanding Animated Program, the great show combined elements of Burton's Batman with the Superman cartoon shorts of the 40s to create timeless Gotham. Now, it was a kid show. It was based a lot on Tim Burton's Batman. But another podcast that you and I have listened to, World's Finest, we realized that it did, even though it was for kids, it really, dabbled in a lot of, adult themes.
Mm-hmm. But again, the argument is just because it had adult themes, and I love this series. It is one of my absolute favorite series of all time. It does not belong on this list.
If you're gonna put this on this list, you might as well put Gargoyles on it too.
Yeah, there you go. Well, what about the Justice League? Batman Beyond, Justice League Unlimited,
Superman.
Shit, Static Shock.
Well, I think the reason that would be because this started that universe. This show started that universe.
That's true. But
doesn't mean anything.
I stand by my comment about Gargoyles. If you're gonna have Batman, you might as well have Gargoyles because they were basically around, starting the same era.
Mm-hmm.
They were a couple years apart, maybe.
So
both were dark. Both had adult themes.
And none of us are going to disagree with you on the fact that, hey, this is an absolutely spectacular show.
Yes.
It had some really bad episodes. I've got Batman in my basement. But
What about the trio of terror? Or whatever the hell they're called.
God, the terrible trio.
Terrible trio.
Christmas with the Joker.
I've actually just started listening to World's Finest again, specifically so I can get to that episode again. Just because I want to hear them rant and rave about the terrible trio. But yeah, great show. Awesome show. If you have never seen it, what the hell is wrong with you? Go out, find it. Okay, if you want a snapshot without having to watch the entire series, here you go. Mask of the Phantasm. If you like that, get into watch the series.
Then follow it up with Return of the Joker.
You might want to watch at least one episode of Batman Beyond first. So
Mm-hmm.
have an idea who the characters are.
Yep.
Oh, everybody knows who Joker is.
We mean Terry.
You're not going to know who Terry is.
Nah, no.
Yeah. No.
Nobody
Now-
cares about Terry.
Now, can I just say something really quick?
Sure.
I have a really big problem with the first sentence of this whole review of Batman. It says, during an era when movie studios wanted to move away from the dark portrayal of Batman, giving the cinematic reins over to Dark Schumacher, I'm going to stop you right there because this series premiered in 1992, 2 months after Batman Returns, before Schumacher was even named the director for the next movie.
Yeah, well, at that point, they had already decided they wanted a lighter movie, and they were looking for somebody else. So it's right. It's technically right.
Well, this
They
thing
hadn't.
was
You're
designed-
right. They had not announced Joel Schumacher yet, but they were. They were looking for someone to take over the reins from Burton because they realized they wanted to sell toys.
And Bat Nipples.
They sold plenty of toys with Batman and Batman Returns.
Oh yeah, but they sold more toys with Batman Forever. And then Batman and Robin, everybody looked at that and said, never mind toys, I don't even want that movie.
No, but they couldn't even purchase the toys with their back credit cards.
Ugh.
You need to punch him
Drop
when you
dead.
see him, Carlos.
Drop dead. Just Drop dead.
All right, let's move on to number 2.
Is it my turn?
Yes,
Yep.
it is, sir.
Number 2, South Park. Given that most episodes of animated shows can take anywhere from 6 to 12 months to complete, the fact that an episode of South Park can be produced in 5 days is giving creators Matt Parker and Trey Stone a topical freedom that no one else in the business has ever had. They can actually write an episode about things that are happening in the news and tabloids right now. In fact, 2008's episode, About Last Night, was completed in 24 hours. Just enough time to see Obama win the presidential election on Tuesday and create an episode centered around his win for the following Wednesday night.
I
I used to really like the show.
Yeah.
I've
So did
only
I.
seen a few episodes. I never really got on the South Park bandwagon.
Um, Honestly, I still like it. I just kind of I don't go out of my way to watch it like I used to.
Well, I think the thing is we probably just outgrown it.
The potty humor, yeah, definitely.
Mr. Hanky.
But when I do watch, especially new episodes, I still genuinely enjoy it because, like they said, where they can get stuff done so quickly and still have it well written that it could still be a highly controversial show.
Mm.
And that's part of what I like about it is the fact that they can pull crap that nobody else can or would. Anybody else?
Nope.
I watched a lot of the early stuff. About, what's it been on for?
16 years?
16 years? About year 5 I stopped.
Yeah, like I said, I don't watch it on a regular basis, but
Yeah.
I still have some fun with it here and there. And I guess on that note, we'll move on to number 1, which belongs on the list. Is an adult series. I don't think belongs in the number 1 spot,
Me neither.
but I can understand why it's there just due to how long it's been on. And the number 1 spot would go to The Simpsons. First off, it's understood that The Simpsons is the man in this whole scenario. After 25 years, it's the establishment. Hell, there's even a Simpsons area at the Universal Studios Florida theme park now.
Yep, they got a Moe's, a Krusty Burger, Quickie
Yep.
Mart.
And there are arguments to be made about the show not being as good as it once was. But sometimes the champ is the champ for a reason, and a quarter century of dominance speaks volumes. Also, this list is comprised of shows that are both on and off the air, and also not actually adult material. So feel free to watch any era of The Simpsons that you see fit to watch. If you don't like the upcoming season 25, go rewatch Marge vs. the Monorail, Mr. Plow, or Cape Fear. They still stand 10 feet tall, towering above everything else. This is an institution of a quality, age-bridging comedy that's still to this day discovering new viewers and fans. Because you could easily look past the keychains, mugs, and other gift shop items to see the pristine satire, irreverence, and lunacy. You know what? That makes perfect sense if you think about it. 25 years, that's why it's starting to gain popularity again. Because you got guys that were our age when the show started coming in and going, holy shit. Maybe now just discovering the show going, holy shit, this is funny. And watching the new seasons, going, oh my god, this is great. You know, this is what I was thinking, blah, 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 blah. Where they might look at some of the older episodes and not get some of the jokes because of the pop culture at the time.
Mm.
So, kind of like Saturday Night Live, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I personally never really, I never got into the show. I've watched a few episodes. I never really found it that funny.
I again kind of look at it like I did with South Park. I can still turn on a new episode here and there. I don't watch it on a regular basis, but If I can catch an episode here or there, I'll still watch it, and I tend to still enjoy it.
I know enough to know that Mr. Burns is evil and was shot by Maggie.
That was one of the
Side-
best episodes.
Sideshow Bob was always trying to kill Bart. And that's it.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure.
That's all I know.
Well, if anything, Dave, you should watch the Halloween episodes.
I've seen a few of those.
The Treehouse of Horror. When Homer becomes three-dimensional.
In the real
Ooh,
world.
porn cakes. Walks in. Oh my god. Well, that's it.
Speaking of Simpsons, like I said, they are going to be doing a Family Guy crossover with the Simpsons, where the Griffins go on a road trip and end up in Springfield, and Peter gets into a fight with Homer over which is the better beer, Duff or Pawtucket Patriot.
Oh god. Yeah, I'll have to try and catch that when it comes on. But
Well, the new seasons usually start around a little before Halloween, or just after Halloween.
all right.
But it was an interesting list, nonetheless. We might not have agreed with everything.
I
Might.
agree with half of it.
I was trying to be,
He was pretending to try and be diplomatic, and he failed.
Diplomacy has failed.
Run for your lives. Or no, how do you say it in Lord of the Rings? Run,
fool.
flee for your lives. And then he gets hit in the face.
That line.
Yeah, and then he gets hit in the face with a staff by Gandalf. And then later on, runs screaming like a maniac while burning.
Hey, wouldn't you be running around screaming like a maniac while you're burning?
I don't think I would get that far. I'm pretty
No.
sure I would not be able to run the length of 2 football fields.
Yeah, I kind
While
of.
on fire and then jumping off the top.
I think I kind of agree with you there.
you'd probably be your lungs would probably collapse from inhaling the heat from the flames.
Let's put it this way. I absolutely love that movie. The very first time I saw it, all I had in my head was Goofy. Second he went off. Yeah, wee.
Well, that's what they get.
Could have been worse. Could have been the Wilhelm.
Yeah, there you go. Now, if you want to see something really, really good, go look up the Nostalgia Critics 11 dumbest Lord of the Rings moments.
Yeah, I was watching that. I think I watched that.
That's great. If he brings that up too.
Actually, Carlos and I the other day watched, top 11 fuck ups in Nostalgia Critics.
Yep.
I just loved it.
Which
Every
year?
time the number came out, I was like, everything you know is wrong.
Oh yeah. Oh, just listen to the in between music on the Lord of the Rings. It's just him going. And it's different every time. Well, I guess we should call it a night on this show.
Okie dokie.
Indubitably. We would like to thank Carlos for joining us.
Yes,
You're
Carlos.
welcome.
Thank you. Hopefully you had some fun.
Yeah.
And you have actually been a part of the longest show we have ever done. We are
Obviously.
we are going to hit about 2 hours and 10 minutes by the time it's all said and done.
Yep.
I don't know. My clock only says 47 minutes, but then again, I was cut off
Yes.
for a few seconds.
Yeah.
My
So-
clock actually says 2 hours and 36 minutes because of that stuff we were doing beforehand anyway.
Yeah, well, mine is the most accurate at 2:44.
Okay, then. Well, you
So-
started the whole conversations.
This is true. All right, Dave, would you like to tell people where they can get a hold of us and tell us that we're good, bad, where to get off, where to go fuck ourselves, how to
Well,
fuck ourselves, why to use a flaming torch, if we should use lube? Hey, Carlos, congratulate me. I broke Dave.
Brain pain. Okay. You can reach us.
I'd ask if you were okay, but we both know better.
I've never been okay. You can reach us at wobblypod@yahoo.com. or at wobblypod@gmail.com. We also have a Twitter, Facebook, wobblypod, and if you're watching this show, you're watching it on wobblypod, channel on YouTube.
The Wibbly Wobbly Geeky Weekly channel. Um, we will also continue putting pictures up of Kineticon. Here we have a couple pictures of me with my fiance with Deanna Troy, if those aren't up yet, along with Fargo from Eureka, or as their actual names are, Marina Sirtis and Neil Grayston, respectively. And you also just get pictures of all the different doctors and companions and just different characters all over the place that we managed to grab pictures of.
Mm-hmm.
And
Especially the ones I'm keeping for myself.
You're sending those to me, right?
You did hear me say I'd be keeping them for myself.
Yeah, I heard you say that.
he's only sending you the ones that have tentacles.
There were a few there.
Sadly,
Meh.
you're right. All right, on that note, Carlos, thank you for joining us.
No problem.
I'm Joe,
And I'm Dave.
and we will see you next week on Wibbly Wobbly Geeky Weekly. Good night.